Finland has been more negatively impacted by rising interest rates than many other Eurozone nations. Thus, it is past time for a rate reduction. On Thursday, the European Central Bank (ECB) is anticipated to begin reducing its policy rate. Finnish individuals and businesses have been severely impacted by inflation, which has resulted in increased interest rates. Since most loans in Finland have floating rates, rising market rates have a rapid impact on borrowing costs. There is a huge list of things that would change if and when the rate cuts actually happen. It is anticipated that the ECB will lower its main deposit rate from a record 4% to 3.75%. The Euribor rate already takes this into account, therefore, it won't have a significant impact straight away. On the other hand, the rate reduction will reassure households that rates will eventually decline. Additionally, investors, firms, and consumers may benefit from lower interest rates. For instance, a rise in corporate and consumer confidence may encourage more investment and purchase choices. A sizable industrial facility on Ruskonsalanttie Street in Oulu caught fire in the evening of June 5, 2024. There was a risk of explosion in the vicinity, according to police. Just before 9 o'clock at night, a chopper showed up to put out the fire. The building next door and the landfill outside the plant were also affected by the fire, which firefighters are attempting to contain. Toxic odors have forced police to leave the area. At the scene are 15 fire brigades. As of now, the fire's origin is unknown. Although there were no injuries, the building will be ruined beyond repair. Miles away, one can see the smoke from the fire. Ruskoniaitintie and Ruskonsalanttie roads are blocked. The fire brigade was alerted at 6:35 p.m. Students who have unfinished dissertations experience stress and delayed graduation, particularly when they must prioritize other classes or work. Changing the teaching culture, according to University of Eastern Finland professor Urho Sointu, may reduce this worry. Students frequently encounter extensive and intricate coursework without sufficient assistance. Although there is little information on dissertation delays, statistics from 2023 revealed that only almost half of the 56,000 students enrolled finished their courses on schedule. Sointu proposes a flipped teaching approach as a solution, in which students study the content ahead of time and concentrate on writing and discussing their dissertations in class. Additionally, some colleges have launched thesis writing assistance classes. Balancing work and study is also a big challenge for many students. As Russian forces advance, the discussion over deploying Western soldiers to Ukraine heats up, and analysts from Finland are confident that NATO forces are present there. Before the Maidan Revolt in 2014, Western military activities in Ukraine had been ongoing for more than 10 years, according to Dr. Timo Hellenberg, an expert on international crisis management. After residing in Ukraine from 2011 to 2015, Mr. Hellenberg concluded that NATO forces were there conducting targeting, advice, and reconnaissance missions. According to him, behind the scenes, Ukrainian operations were being supported by at least several hundred military professionals from NATO member states. International media reports also suggest that there are NATO troops in Ukraine. In April 2023, the BBC reported that there were 50 soldiers from the UK, 17 from Latvia, 15 from France, 14 from the US and 1 from the Netherlands. French President Macron and NATO officials have also acknowledged the presence of special forces in Ukraine. These soldiers focus on technical and reconnaissance missions, not directly involved in combat, but support complex weapons systems. Hellenberg said that the presence of NATO soldiers could be an important factor in dealing with Russia in Ukraine. Journalist Pauliina Tolvanen claims that border guards' voices are not given enough weight in the discussion around the legislation pertaining to deportations at the border. Although the Finnish border guard is making an effort to shed its image as a secret service, it continues to sidestep challenging inquiries. A deportation law being pushed by the Finnish parliament would permit the deportation of refugees at the country's eastern border with Russia. If this legislation is approved, border officers will be given the power and duty to decide whether individuals should be deported and if they pose a risk of torture or death. The opinions of border agents, however, have not received much attention. Deputy Commander Samuli Murtanen merely said, "They need the necessary tools and trust the decision of the parliament," in response to a question regarding the legislation. Given that this law would drastically alter the work that border guards do, it is unclear why their opinions are not more broadly held. Normally, Juhannus is when mosquitoes are most prevalent, but this year's warm May has pushed them out sooner. Entomologist Riima Leininen of Keinuun Keskuksesta reports that southern and central Finland is currently seeing a mosquito population boom. There will probably be fewer of them than normal during Juhannus because they fly for roughly 3 weeks. In Finland, there are around 40 species of mosquitoes. Most fly around Juhannus, although others fly later. Mosquitoes arrive later in northern Lapland than in other areas. Mosquitoes prefer damp areas and typically reside in shrubs. Rain helps mosquitoes breed, but it is not the primary determinant. Mosquitoes use temperature, carbon dioxide levels, and sweat odors to locate humans. Lavender-loving plants can aid in their repellency. Retailers will be able to offer stronger fermented alcoholic beverages, such as wine, cider, and beer with an alcohol level of 5.6% to 8%, than they presently can thanks to the new law. Stronger ones and other mixed beverages are exempt from the legislation. Protecting young people, especially young women, from harmful health repercussions is the goal of the limitation. 80 MPs opposed the liquor legislation amendment, while 102 MPs backed it. On June 5, 17 members of parliament were not present. The reform is a part of the agenda that Prime Minister Petteri Orpo is leading the government. Stronger alcoholic beverages may be available on store shelves in the coming days as a result of the regulation, which STT claims might take effect as early as next Saturday. There is a major problem with the Digione system, which is taking the place of the Wilma telecommunications system in schools. The project's biggest donor, the city of Espoo, has declared its intention to discontinue its involvement. As a result, Digione said, the project might end up being abandoned entirely. The national integration of digital tools for parents, teachers, and students is the aim of Digione. Although it was supposed to be finished by the end of 2023, the system still doesn't satisfy specifications. Digione's budget increased from €12 million to over €26 million, a more than twofold increase. The system has numerous issues with information transfer and interoperability, and it is now only 65% complete. The cities of Tampere and Oulu have also suspended their investment in the project, while Turku has decided to suspend it. However, Vantaa, Lahti, Jyväskylä and Kuntiantiera are continuing negotiations to find a way to keep the project going. If no solution is found, the Digione project could be cancelled altogether. On June 1, a new legislation governing road insurance went into effect, requiring insurance for vehicles like child-sized electric cars and scooters. More individuals are insuring electric vehicles than autos, claims IFIN. Vehicles weighing more than 25 kilograms or traveling faster than 25 kilometers per hour are covered by road insurance. This covers child-sized electric automobiles and scooters as well as scooters for the elderly. The price of insurance might vary from €70 to €450. An electric automobile for a youngster, for instance, costs about €60 in insurance. Vehicles with more risk, like electric scooters, have more expensive insurance. The 32-year-old speed hurdler Lotta Harala is training to make it to the final of her outdoor European tournament. Rietta Hursk, meantime, is a clear semi-finalist. Harala, who has run a time of 12.89, thinks she can make it to the final, but she also understands how crucial it is for her rivals to do well. Her ailments and inconsistent performance have complicated her preparation. Despite her inability to overcome hurdles due to recent health issues, she still has confidence in the competition. Harala will have to begin in the qualifying round, whereas Rietta Hursk, with her record of 12.70 seconds, will advance directly to the semi-finals.